Welcome to my little corner. It's Dejana Avi and it's strictly academic. How are we doing? I missed you guys. I hope you missed me. And if you are seeing this in the future, just know that there is an 8, 9 month, 10 month gap of me recording from the first time I recorded. This is a new page, so I had to take a step back and evaluate my life and make sure that I'm getting to where I want to go in these next 5 years. Okay, let's get into it. I'm going to tell you what I've been doing for the past year, what I'm doing now, and get into this video right after that. So follow me. I bought 3 books. Nightingale, Firebound, and That's How They Get You by Damon Young. I started a new reading journal, so we'll go through that. This is what it looks like. It's all Cinderella stuff. I highly relate to Cinderella. And if you watched Into the Woods, it's not all what it makes out to be. So, hey. Here's the old one. We got pretty much through all of it. I have some books here that I'll explain have to be filled in. There's quite a lot actually. Phantasma and Guild were like, and Self-Portraits were like the last books that I read in 2025 or before December of 2025. And then I posted on my Instagram highlights that I finished more books than I said I did, and we're gonna say that I finished them in 2025 because I started them in 2025. I read them in 2025. Doesn't matter when I finished them, they started in 2025. So I'm calm down. I'm very, so that's Ceremony, The Secret Life of Bees, Miss Dalloway, The Perfect Marriage, which I DNF'd. I'm not reading it. You're gonna see 26 books in there. Disgusting! But it's actually 25. I don't care. I read some of The Perfect Marriage, but it's terrible. I hate it. It's not terrible. It's just not my thing. And I don't really like dual POV unless it's a romance novel at this point. So it just really made me uncomfortable, and it was really slow, and I just couldn't get through it. I know Sophie K, I think her name is, on YouTube. She reads books like that, and I feel like that'd be the perfect book for her, but it's not my thing. It's not my thing. And then also Daughter of No Worlds, which I started the audiobook, and let me tell you, it's interesting, but it's like boring in a sense. And then those other 3 books, The Secret Life of Bees, Miss Dalloway, and Ceremony, are just very like, they're like high grade. I feel like high grade level books. Like Miss Dalloway, it's straight up, there's no chapters, and I don't know how to read it because I read by chapter. Like oh, let me finish this chapter, let me finish this chapter. But I'm actually reading quite a lot of books at the same time on top of those. I haven't touched these physical books because I haven't felt like feeling a physical book. So I've been reading on my phone quite a lot. So what I'm reading right now are these books.
Right now we're gonna...
I'm reading Dungeon Crawler Carl, White Knights, The Book of Azrael, and Building a Life Worth Living by Marsha M. Linehan. There are a lot of books that I want to read on top of everything, like Say Nothing, A True Story of the Murder and Memory in Northern Ireland. Riftborn, because I've been waiting for that to come out for months. Firebound, That's How They Get You is another one. The Ever King, I've been waiting for that for months. A Love Story, Baldwin. The Nightingale, another one. The Metal Slinger, and The Jailhouse Lawyer. As for my reading journal, I'll just tell you what I have in here. I'm not going to show you it, but I have an index, 2026 reading goals. I have a board game. I have DNFs. I have a series tracker, a reading log, a library, a junk page, how was the reading in 2026, reading bucket list, shopping tracker. There's quite a lot here, sorry. 2025 books, rating tracker, Hall of Fame, anticipated releases, rating system. Okay, my camera went out. A little storage, but I just had to delete all the photos in my deleted recently. That's all I do. And then I have all my stuff on my iPad. So I have a rating system, a yearly goal, 5-star books, page 23 of bingo card book, A to Z challenge, nonfiction books, a Kindle page, so it's like title, author, rating, dates, my wish list. So stuff like what I want, like a reading mug or stuff like that. An author tracker, read books to earn rewards. So if I read 1, 2, 3, 4, if I read 4 books in that section, I get to go to TJ Maxx. If I go to 4 for another one, Burlington, same thing, I get a tattoo. Another thing, I get a MacBook. I get to buy stuff from Shein for my house or my apartment or my room. And then Urban Outfitters, because Urban Outfitters is one of my favorite places to shop at. We have worst book of the year, YouTube content. So whatever YouTube content I have, I'll write it in this page. A word count, and that's it. And then I have another page, but it's pretty blank. I haven't filled this out yet just because I want to finish filling this out. And I don't like finishing stuff that I haven't started. I don't like starting things I haven't finished. So yeah, there's that. Let's do a little raffle. Let's do a little raffle of what I'm going to read first. I'm going to do the circle thing, the wheel. Okay. Which one is it? Miss Dalloway. That's the one I've read the most out of, in my opinion. So I kind of know where I left off. These ones, I don't really know. This one is very like, you gotta understand what the hell's going on. Like, you really gotta pay attention. And then this one, it's really boring. It's just really boring. And I want to finish them because they're on my nightstand and they're giving me nightmares. So let's get into it.
Gay.
So Miss Dalloway is about about this older woman, I think during World War II. I have to look it up. Let me look it up.
Bruh.
So Miss Dalloway is about an upper-class Londoner, Clarissa Dalloway, through a single day in June 1923 as she prepares for a party. So far what I've gotten to is that she went to this flower shop, then someone came by the flower shop, and they looked very, very important, and they don't get that very much where she's at. So everyone is following the car, looking to see where the car goes, and then planes fly over, and then it goes to the not the POV, but the description of this mentally ill man and his life and his family's life and his wife and everything like that. And that's where I kind of got lost in the story, but that's where we're gonna go from. I'm gonna go from the last page on 30 and try to finish this book first tonight, just to get it over with. I have nothing else to do for the next couple weeks, so let's see how much I can get into. will say that this book is really well versed in description. Like, in this part it says, like a nun withdrawing or a child exploring a tower, she went upstairs, paused at the window, came to the bathroom. There was a great linoleum and a tap dripping. There was an emptiness about the heart of life, an attic room. Women must put off their rich apparel. At midday they must disrobe. She pierced the pincushion and laid her feathered yellow hat on the bed. The sheets were clean, tight stretched in a broad white band from the side to side. Narrower and narrower would her bed be. It's not like it's descriptive like Toni Morrison, but it's descriptive in a way that it takes you step by step of what's going on in this woman's mind and her daily activity and the feelings of going through there. It doesn't say the feeling that you're supposed to have, but it gives off a feeling that you're supposed to have. It's very airy in that sense of what I just read. It's very airy. It's very sad. It's very lonely. It's very proportionate and wisdom-like. Because before I read that, she says, out of her body and brain, which now failed, since Lady Burton, whose lunch parties were said to be extraordinarily amusing, she had not asked her. So she wasn't invited to the party, so now she's just going home. And that's what she's doing. She's analyzing her bedroom, her attic room that she's always been in. But now she's thinking, this is my life. This is my life. And it's just so funny because, girl, I'm in an attic. What you know about an attic life? Most of the time, I'm really bored when reading. I don't know what it is, but I have to get into the reading, and I have to read for a little while and finally get into the story to, like, pace it correctly of how to read the book. And then once that's happening, I have to find a certain section of the book that I would love to find out what happens. It's kind of like a trailer. You ever see a trailer and, like, that specific part in that movie trailer and have to know what happens before and after in order to, like, not in order, but like to, that's why you want to see the movie, is because you saw that piece and you have to know how that happens. That's basically how I read. And I'm such a movie person that I would love to see books become into movies. I follow this page on Instagram. I'll put the link below too, but they always put, like, what books are coming to, like, movie adaptations or TV adaptations, and it's so many books. It hurts my eyes seeing them because it's the same type of font and stuff, but they're always posting something, and I'm like, how are people, how am I not knowing these across all pages? Why do I have to follow a specific page to know what's coming out? But this book is getting good. I'm finally at a part where I'm like, ooh, I can't wait to see what happens after. Whatever. Okay, I'm very hungry. I've only read 7 pages, but I'm very hungry and I can't stop thinking about food. So I'm going to go make some eggs. Finish the book. No, I'm lying. I actually didn't. I started feeling sick. So I laid down and then I was listening to music while I was doing that because I was kind of trying to fall asleep. And then I ended up making a mixtape for my boyfriend. I just finished. And my bedtime's in an hour. So we're gonna try this tomorrow. And if you say anything about the fact that I'm not wearing anything pink, your mom's a hoe. Yeah. I'll see you, bit.
2 days later.
I thought I would read since I have my PS4 set up now. I'm watching Ryan Holiday. So far in the book of Miss Dalloway, there's a new character that just came in, and he just came back from India, and he's going about meeting Miss Dalloway, and then goes away because he didn't really like the conversation, and now he's just being a little moody boy and experiencing life from England back from India. And there's a whole whole thing going on. I'm really bad with describing what's going on, but we should get better over time as I read more books or talk about more books, because I don't really talk to anybody about these books. So, I'm gonna read and see how far we can get. I'm on page 79 of 230. So I'm hoping to get through a lot of this book, because I always read better if there's something on the TV that I'm watching. So, okay, so it's like almost 12. And I started reading when I recorded that last clip, but the book is just so stagnant. There's not much of a thriller or suspense or any romance really to like push me to go and find what I want to find out. So I ended up falling asleep, because that's what happens when I read things like that. I read Shattered by James Patterson once, like probably last summer. And every single time I read that book, it always put me to sleep, and that's what got me to start reading again, just because it was such a strong point in my life that I needed something to kind of steady everything out. And that's what this book is doing for me, but it's not interesting, and like I have no idea where the end's gonna go. Like, I have no idea what the ending's gonna be, and I think that also destroys the reading process for me. So I'm gonna read a little bit more before going to bed, and then try to pick it up tomorrow morning when I wake up, or just like when I wake up. Yeah. I was watching Drawing with Waffles. I watched her latest episode or video, and then I've been watching Emmy Rossum or Rossum all day. I haven't watched any Jetro, but that's okay. That's because I have to have a certain horror game to watch, and I just watched Silent Hill, and he finished the game, and there's not much to watch. Plus, I get really scared during horror games, like afterwards, so I don't like watching them anymore like that. But I'm gonna read a little bit and then go about my day. Hopefully I can finish all 3 books in this video. Okay, bye. It seems like I have to reread some things, because it does its description at the most oddest ways. There's not really a setup to it. This book is odd. I don't know if it won any awards or anything like that, but it's very well known for it to be 100 years old, which is why I 101 now, which is why I got it, because it was part of my reading goal. But the descriptions are like the in-depth notability happens at a weird time. Like, there's no setup for it. It just happens to be a flow of constant thought. Now, kudos and points to the author, Miss Virginia Woolf, for being able to have a constant thought process and write that down and create a page of 200 something pages. But gosh, do I not know where this is going. I don't know where this is going. I'm figuring it's going to be at the end at Clarissa, Miss Dalloway's party. But what can happen in the midst of all of that? It's just going to be all description. It's going to be pointless descriptions. I don't really understand. Maybe it's just not for me. But I want to look up the reviews of Miss Dalloway. And then we'll see where I should be going with this. Okay, the first one is a 1 star, and he says, I hated this with all my heart. This was 200 pages of continuous rambling without any kind of discernible transition whatsoever. Okay, let's see the next one. Damn, he had a lot to say. Someone gave it 5 stars. What does the brain matter, said Lady Rosetter, getting up compared with the heart. Number 5 is being like a piece of luggage on an airport conveyor belt.
Oh, hey. I'm just about to go to bed. I know we couldn't Skype tonight, but that's alright. Good night, girl. I'll see you tomorrow.
Traversing lazily through a crowd of passengers, over and around and back again, but with an added bonus of being able to read people's thoughts as they pass. Okay. Not my first description, but
that's alright.
I will say, though, reading books like this is so nice because the vocabulary words, as someone who is an aspiring writer, will get you up there if you really study like Eminem.
What is he doing?
He's beginning to believe.
Studied the dictionary. Reading books like this will definitely get you somewhere. Because the amount of vocabulary words that I didn't even know existed is overbearing. I'm trying to read and then a word just pops up and I'm like having like a meltdown because I can't even pronounce the word. Let me see if I can find this word. Hold on. Beningant. Benigant. Benign? Is that what it is? Benign? The G is silent? I don't know. I might have just gotten that correct, but I doubt it. I used to underline vocabulary words in books, and I would write out the vocabulary word and put it in a sticky note in the book. There's this one book, and it taught me about autonomy and things like that, and it's such a great book. It's such a great book because it was about chemistry versus biology. And I love this book. And the amount of sticky notes that I had in this book was extraordinary because I read one chapter and then I read it again. And I used a different highlighter. Not only did I highlight, I underlined and I put sticky notes in. It was the craziest, most riveting part of my 2024 to 2025 year list. Like on my list. Anyways, my iPad's on 4% and I don't feel like charging it because I have a heating pad under these blankets and I'm sleeping on the wrong side of the bed so I can see the TV. And I don't feel like having my charger, even though it's a long charger, I don't feel like plugging it in. So we're going to read until this iPad is dead, and then I'm going to read on my phone until I get tired enough to record some more, and then we'll be back into it. Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? I actually just saw a video of this man talking about Rush Hour. Rush Hour and what? Rush Hour and another movie in the coincidence of the comedy. And it was such a good debrief of what is funny and what is not when it comes to cultural understanding. And it was such a good video, and I wish I knew what the other movie was being talked about. But never mind that. I have no idea why I brought that up. So, let's read some more. Like I said, I've only read a couple pages and I've had so many clips. I'm just not feeling it right now, guys. I'm just not feeling it right now. I'm in pain and it's hot. I'm hot. I have this thick ass blanket and this heater on and I need it. I could use a cold pack because that's usually what I do when I have issues or if I'm sick. I usually take a cold pack because heating pads actually burn the shit out of me no matter what temperature it's on. It burns the inside. I can feel my insides burning. But right now, I just have this feeling of like, you ever like get chills? But it's not chills. It's like, you want to like, it's like the moment before you throw up, like, ew. Yeah. That's how I'm feeling right now. So I can't use a cold pack because I feel like I'll throw up. Anyways, that was too much information for y'all. Goodbye. Again.
Huh? Huh?
I read a little bit more last night, and I have to say that it's very clear where each part of the story cuts off, but the transitions sometimes get lost. Because the chunks of the story, or the chunks of each storyline but like, how can I say this? Each chunk of the story is long enough for me to immerse myself into the storyline, but the transition is very unclear because at least this one part that I'm on right now, I don't know whether it's between Peter or this other man. I don't know if Peter's telling the story or if, like, I don't know, because I know Clarissa, Miss Dalloway, is not part of the story and is not telling this part of the story. And last we left off from Peter sitting in a park and sitting next to a woman who's a nurse watching a child, and then he goes to sleep on the bench, and then all of a sudden this story talks about some other woman and this other man and their relationship and how this man basically has schizophrenia. And it seems like it's very clear because of how I'm telling you, but it's not at all. It's not at all, because I don't know when Peter's going back to talking about the park, and I don't know where that transitions and why it's being talked about that way when it's like flashbacks maybe or something like that, but I have no clear information on how to read this book. But I did find the audiobook on Spotify, and if I put it on 2x speed, I should be able to finish it in half that time. So let me see how many hours are in this book. And you know what sucks is that on the audiobook there are parts instead of chapters. I don't know what part I'm on in the actual book. I don't know where I'm at. I have no freaking clue. But let me see. Miss Dalloway, Virginia Woolf, there is 6 hours and 59 minutes. So I should cut that down in 3. And I'm already I'm halfway. I think I'm halfway. Let me check my Fable, which I just downloaded onto my iPad. I'm 40% of the way through on Virginia Woolf. So, that should cut it down to like an hour and a half. Pretty much an hour, 45 minutes. But I don't know what part I'm on. Because I realized that I only like listening to audiobooks if it's fantasy and the fantasy starts off fast. Because I'm also, I also started Daughter of No Worlds, which is a fantasy book. And I started the audiobook and I just seemed very bored with the book already. And maybe that's just because I'm not interested in the book and I have no idea what this book's about. But I only got 9% of the way through. Usually when I listen to an audiobook, I am halfway through it in about 2 hours. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it was just because I've been feeling down lately or what, or because I'm reading so many books at the same time. I just want to finish all of these books so I can read one book at a time. I keep adding books to my TBR, and then I read those books on my TBR, and then I just have a whole bunch of books. Like, I'm reading right now. Let me go on my Fable again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm reading 8 books right now. I'm 65% of the way through White Nights, which I could finish really, really fast. It's a really good story. I like it a lot, but we'll do another reading video on finishing another set of books, another set of 3 books. I'm 39% way through the Book of Azrael. I'm 50% of the way through Dungeon Caller Carl, and I don't know if I'll go back and read the rest of the series. 9% of the way through Daughter of No Worlds. Virginia Woolf, 40%. The Secret Life of Bees, 4%. And Ceremony, 4%. And then on top of all of those books, I decided to add, with my therapist who's also reading the book, because we're talking about DBT, Building a Life Worth Living. I'm 15% of the way through that, which is 18 on my actual books, I think. Hold on, let me see. Yeah, I'm 18% of the way through on iBooks. So we'll see how all of this correlates and how it all comes down. But I'm not adding another book, and I bought 3 books like 2 months ago. Meanwhile, I still have a stack of books over there that I have not read. But you know what book I want to read next? Because I was asleep yesterday, and I woke up to Emmy Rossum describing the book and its contents, and then I had a dream of those words being played in my dream, and I thought I was about to go into the best type of dream that you could ever describe. And I was so excited. I had to wake up and be like, I'm ready, like, bring me to that world. And then I woke up and I realized it was Emmy Rossum describing Riftborn. I literally went back and I said, what is this book? And no wonder, because I have Riftborn on my TBR for like before it came out. And I have not gotten to it because I have all of these books and I didn't read for the last 4 months of 2025. Probably more than that. Let's look, actually. I don't know if we're going to get through any of these books. But I want to see 2025. Let's see if it'll load. Okay, so I didn't read from June all the way up till December.
How? Hold on, bro. How?
And then I read a book in December. From June, the last book I read before my big reading slump was Phantasma and Guild. I was A-okay. I was having the best time. Okay? And you know what book I can't get over? And I keep thinking about, and it's making me so depressed? A Court of Mystic Fury.
Oh, hell no! Hell no! No!
If I've talked about this in my videos before, I hate ACOTAR. I hate it with all my might. But apparently I can't get over that shit. I can't get over it. But so far in 2026, my best reading streak in 2025 was 4 days, but my best reading streak this year is 10 days. And I read 2 books. January, I read multiple books at one time. So I read 2 books one day, 1 book one day, 2 books one day, 2 books another day, 3 books another day, 4 books another day, 1 book one day, 2 books another day, 1 book, and then 2 books. And then I stopped reading for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 days. I didn't read for 11 days. That's so bad to me. I don't even know how how that transpired. You know what I am going to get into? I'm going to get into this book, and I'm going to listen to Brittany Broski talk about the Super Bowl.
How the fuck's everyone doing?
I'm going to get into this book and find where I am on the audiobook. Okay, I found it. I found the part. I'm on part...
Poured its riches over him.
I'm on part
And
6.
his lips fell like shells, like shavings from a plate.
Oh my god, shut the f... What is with this pocket knife? What is the author, what is Miss Virginia Woolf trying to say about this damn pocket knife? Because it says holding the pocket knife at arm's length. You're in public, sir. You're in public. Where are you at? Is this in a dissociation? Because there's no way in hell you just have a pocket knife at arm's length in a park in England. I know they like to get rowed and dirty.
But Judge, she won't stop singing it. In front of the place, if you got beef, you let your brother cry. Ask him where he's from. He's not a scouser. He said Merseyside. I don't need no tick to buy me name to show I'm verified. Stop with it, no certificate. Got nicked with it, I'm certified. What?
Up in that bitch. But what are you talking about? What are you talking about? This book is not for me. This book is not for me. It helps with the audiobook. It's helping with the audiobook, but when I tell you, I just can't do it. I just can't do it. It's not for me. I can see why it's good though. It's a good book. Oh, there's my scar if you're wondering. I got hit by a brick when I was a kid, like 10 years old, while I was on a swing, and someone threw a brick in my face for no reason, and I just have a scar there, and it shows up sometimes, and I kind of love it. I kind of like it. It gives me a little bit of personality. But I can see why people would like this book. I can see why it's very much fiction. It's very much fiction. Okay? But it's having no information. There's no information that seems to entice me to keep reading. I'm trying to get back to Clarissa. I'm trying to see, I liked when she described Clarissa. This is a long time. I thought this was about Clarissa and her time of the day. Now Peter has been talking for so long. For so long. I just can't do it no more. Y'all might just get this book. Y'all just might get this book. I need a break. I need to read something else. But also the Book of Azrael, it's cool. It's cool. It's not Fourth Wing. It's not Fourth Wing to me. But also, there's no romance yet. I'm trying to get to the romance part. That's what I love. Romance. Like, I love just straight up romance. I love fantasy romance. If they could have nonfiction with some romance, well, I guess no, nonfiction with some romance. I mean, I would say All About Love is a romance, but it's not romance. It's nonfiction about romance. There's no telling the story of. It's not like The Notebook. Okay, I consider The Notebook, the movie, a nonfiction because, babe, that could have been someone's life. Okay. But what else? White Nights is fiction. That is romance. It's okay. It's pretty good, but there's no steam. Oh, I sound like a book talker. Oh my gosh. I sound like what people hate on book talk. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. But I love me some romance. I love it because personally it makes me happy. And I love a second chance. Not like a second chance of like, oh, they used to be together, then they took off apart and then they got back together. No, I want them to hate each other, get together, have an argument, break up, and fall back in love. I love it. I love the toxicity. It's not even toxic because like they just had an argument. They've never had an argument before. So like you gotta see what's gonna happen and let them not actually get back together. I will cry. I will cry. I have yet to find a book. If y'all know any of books, don't tell me the book. Just give me book recommendations. Be like, this is a nonfiction. And I'll be like, okay, girly, I'll read it. And then it end up being a book where they don't get back together. Oh, that's my dream book. Oh my gosh. I would love it. So hard. Because How to End a Love Story. I forget who it's by, but it's by someone with a fake name, I think. Or no, it's not by a fake name. She is a movie producer, and then the book is basically about like a book that was written that's being now turned into a movie, and them two just go to it's a good book. I don't want to spoil nothing. It's such a good book. But I thought they weren't gonna get back together, and then they didn't get back together. If I could find another book like that, my life would be complete. This book. But I was on page 91. I'm on page 101 now. This is real time struggle right here. Real time struggle. I'm so sorry. I don't know how long this video is going to be until I finish this book, but I know once I finish this book, this video is over. I am dying. I am hungry. I need some romance. Now.
It's my money, and I need it now!
And I swear, if the Book of Azrael series doesn't have romance until the third book, I will go off. If it doesn't have anything that happens in this book by the end of the book, I will go haymaker. I don't even know what haymaker is. So if you can explain that in the comments too, what haymaker is, because I'm not going to look it up because you know what? I have books to finish. I don't have time to read definitions, as we can see. Also, I look a little rugged. I feel like rugged is like an English term. Like someone from England would say, oh, that's rugged. Why do I sound Jamaican? Not everything is Jamaican, Dejana. Not everything is Jamaican. They could be Ghanaian.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Is Nigerian let me look. I'm horrible at geography. I'm so sorry. It's Nigerian. Oh.
You did not just hear that. You did not just hear that. Ah! What did I say? Those guys on, I think it's called Shits and Gigs. Let me see. Let me look it up. Hold on. I think their name is Shits and Gigs. And they're like Nigerian. I just turned the volume down. How are you? Hold on. Shits and Gigs. I think it's called Shits and Gigs. It is. It's called Shits and Gigs. They are so funny. I love when they laugh. It's all men. It's an all men podcast, and they just make me laugh to no end. But they're Ghanaian, Nigerian. They just did a 23andMe. One of them, I have no idea what their names are really, but one of them's like something African. He's from the parts. But I love them because they're not from the US, as you can say, but they know quite a lot. And I wish I could have a podcast like that. Anyways, let me get back into this book. I don't even know why I started talking. Oh, I wanted to say that this pocket knife shit is just getting on my damn nerves. Let me just get back into this book.
Offer of coming to England and seeing lawyers wasn't to marry her, but to prevent her from marrying anybody else. That was what tortured him.
Downstairs getting my tea made, and I was talking to my mom, and my brother was talking to me about this magnet that he has, and he went to the window, and then he's like, "Mom, look." I'm like, "What?" I thought she was going to show him the magnet or something. He lost his first baby tooth. That's so cute. It's so tiny. It's tinier than me and my sisters when we had baby teeth. So this will be a monumental moment. I'm sorry I didn't bring my camera downstairs. So that's cute. So I'm gonna go tell some people and finish this reading. I haven't eaten yet, but I'm not really hungry. I have some rice, but I don't know what to make with the rice. Also, I just realized how long this video is gonna be. Oh, also I got to part 7 in the book. It's super hot. But I'm gonna finish this book today. I know I am. It's just the timing of when I do is going to be announced to me. So I finished the book 2 days ago, and now that I have more of a process on what I read, I will say I liked it. I did like it because of the storyline, how it went to different people. But what I wanted more of was Clarissa. And I think that they did it in a way to show that Clarissa doesn't have a life like everyone else. Not that she doesn't have a life, but it's not eventful. There's not a storyline. She grew up out of her storyline. And so she has these parties where everyone thinks she's conceited, but reality, she's not conceited. She's bringing people together because all of you guys talk, so why don't you guys talk to me? You know? And I found that it was quite sad, but eventful in the end. It was very eventful in the end. There was a lot of drama. And you could say that that's why Clarissa is not well liked by other people. But when you have other people throwing parties, other people going to other countries, other people meeting other people and having meetings, what else is an old, lonely woman supposed to do who's in high class? She's gonna throw a damn party. She's gonna throw a damn party. I mean, she's friends with you. She invited you. How would you feel? She knows how it feels to not be invited to a party. So it just was well versed in a sense of kind of giving each perspective of each person. But I wish that it was more fluid in a sense that it seemed together well. I know I use fluid wrong, but that's how I'm using fluid in describing this book. Another thing is that the way that the writer wrote the book, I like the vocabulary, but I wish that it was more detailed, like The Handmaid's Tale. I wish it was a little more describing the candlelight and the surroundings. That way I kind of got a break from, or like it seemed as though it was a whole storyline, whereas this seems like it's a fragment of PTSD in a sense. Not that I know what that feels like, but in descriptions that I've read, it's flashbacks, it's images, and that's kind of how it felt reading this book. But overall, it was a good book. I'm glad that I read it finally. I'm glad that it's over with. Will I read a book that's written will I read another book written by Virginia Woolf? Probably not. Not my favorite writer. But that doesn't mean that you can't go out and read her books, because she has quite a few, and they seem like they all have the same premise. Not the same premise, but the same writing style. So I'll give her that. She's consistent, and the vibes are the same, the aesthetic is the same, but it's not for me. Thank you for watching. I hope you come back and see later videos. Bye.